Welcome back. As promised, Jen Heine from Lindsey Funeral Home is here with me, and we're going to talk about pre-planning your funeral. Are you ready to talk about it?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so we've got some questions and we're going to work our way through these. Their first caller wanted to know, I want to pre-plan my funeral, but I don't have the money to pay for the whole thing. Can I pay for half, and then are there payment options for the other half?
Yes, you can definitely do that. What you would do is put down what's called a down payment for the half that you do have, and the remainder would be set up on payments. There's different payment options from 1 year to 10 years. It just depends on what you're looking at.
Okay, so we need to come talk to you, and then you can tell us what those
come in the
options
office
are.
And we can sit down and see what your budget is and go from there.
Okay, well, Jen, and reading these questions earlier, this one seems like something my kids might have a conversation about, so I want to read this one to you. It says, my mother pre-planned her funeral and wants cremation and a closed casket. My brother says we can change all of that when she passes. Is there anything I can do to make sure my mom's wishes are carried out?
Absolutely. What you would do is bring your kids in, or bring your mom in, and have her fill out what's called a funeral planning declaration. This allows her to put down her wishes and appoint somebody who she knows that would carry those out. In this case, it sounds like it would be you.
Yeah, so that's good. So, like, say, in my mind, I'm seeing like a daughter and a son
going at it.
Yeah, and so my daughter would be wanting to make sure that my wishes were carried out.
Yes.
So, anyway, they're good kids. We'll move on. All right. So our next viewer wants to know, if I passed before my prepaid funeral policy is paid off, what happens? Does my family have to pay the remainder in a lump sum?
Okay, that's dependent upon how your policy is written. Some policies, depending on how you answer the health questions, have what's called a contestability period for the first 2 years. So if you passed in those 2 years, your family would be responsible for the remainder. If you passed after those 2 years, the pre-need policy would cover the whole funeral. That's really a good question to come in and sit down with me so we can take a look at your policy and see how it is exactly written.
Okay. All right. Our next caller says, I bought a policy in another state and it cost me a lot more there for funerals. If I use the policy here, will I get refunded the difference of the cost of my funeral?
Normally how that works is you would bring your policy in and we'd have it on file with all your wishes, and at the time of, the remainder would go back to your family once you passed. It just kind of depends on how your policy is written as well and what all you want done, but that would normally go back to your family.
So the best course is to maybe make an appointment and bring all your people in. And I mean, you can look at these things. You could look at a casket, you can look at the urn, you can make these decisions, and then it's not just left on everybody when you pass. Correct?
Yeah, come in, decide what you want. Nobody wants to do it. I get it. You don't want to think about death, but it's a good thing. So the family's not left going, what did mom want? Would this be what she wanted? Does she want an urn? Does she want to be buried? Don't leave those questions up to your family. Come in, sit down, pick it out, and we can put your insurance on file, you can prepay and get it taken care of ahead of time and solve any disputes you might have.
All right. Thank you for joining me today, Jen. I've enjoyed our conversation. If you would like to revisit this segment with Lindsey Funeral Home, log on to WPSDLocal6.com/familyhealthexperts.